Okay, picture this. A hurricane has just torn through a town, or maybe a wildfire or a flood. The immediate danger is over, but this whole new challenge is just beginning. And right in the middle of all that chaos, the very first step toward getting back to normal depends on a hero you've probably never even thought about.
And that really just nails it, right? We're not talking about a little bit of mess here. It's a literal mountain of what used to be homes, trees, cars, all of it, standing in the way of any kind of recovery. I mean, it's a huge question, isn't it? It feels almost impossible. Where do you possibly start when it feels like everything is gone? Well, the answer, believe it or not, is pretty simple. It starts with clearing a path. And that's where our unsung hero makes its entrance, the roll-off container. Yeah, you've seen them at construction sites, but in a crisis, they become something else entirely. They're not just big metal boxes. They're one of the most important first responders on the scene, bringing order to absolute chaos. You see, their job in those first few hours and days is way more than just trash pickup. It's about making the area safe so the real work of rebuilding can even start. It all really boils down to three critical jobs that help turn a disaster zone back into a neighborhood.
So, the name of the game here is speed. Every single minute counts after a disaster. Being able to get these massive containers on site right away means the cleanup can kick off immediately. And that's not just a practical win. It's a huge psychological boost for people who've just been through hell. And look, this applies to pretty much any disaster you can think of. Whether it's the wreckage from a hurricane or the charred remains after a fire, the number one problem is always the same. What do we do with all this debris? The challenge is universal, and so is this part of the solution. And this is absolutely crucial to understand. You can't get the power crews in to fix the lines, you can't get ambulances through blocked streets, and you definitely can't start rebuilding until the roads are clear. These dumpsters are like the first domino that has to fall for everything else to happen. All right, so we get it. We need the big metal boxes. But who actually brings them? This is where the story gets really interesting.
And that's a fair question. You'd think, hey, a dumpster is a dumpster, right? But it turns out that who you choose to partner with, whether it's a local company or a giant national chain, can make a world of difference, especially when everything's on the line.
So this is really the choice that communities have to make. On one side, you've got the big national chains. You know the names. And on the other, you have the local businesses that are literally part of the community they're trying to help rebuild.
And as you're about to see, going local is about way more than just feeling good about your choice. It comes with some really powerful real-world advantages that can seriously speed up how fast a community gets back on its feet.
This one is a huge deal. A local company is already there. They aren't getting a call routed through a corporate office 1,000 miles away. They can get a truck on the road and be on site, adapting to the chaos on the ground with a kind of speed and flexibility that the big guys often just can't match. This really hits on the human side of things. When you call a local company, you're not just another ticket in a system. You're a neighbor. They know the streets, they know the people, and they get what's happening in a way an outsider just can't. And then there's the money. This is so important. When a community is trying to rebuild, every single dollar counts. When you hire a local service, that money isn't getting shipped off to some corporate HQ. It's staying right there, being put back into the local economy. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? You're not just paying to haul away debris, you're helping to pay the salary of a local worker. You're supporting local families. You are directly investing in your own community's comeback. And the list of benefits just keeps going. I mean, think about it. Local folks know all the local rules, so no surprise delays. They usually have clearer pricing. But for me, this last one is the most important: accountability. They live in the community they're serving. Their reputation is on the line every single day. So let's pull all of this together. It's pretty clear we're not just talking about a simple container, are we? We're talking about a fundamental tool for resilience, for recovery, and honestly, for hope. And that's really the big takeaway here. From that very first act of clearing a street, these containers and the local companies that bring them are true partners in bringing a community back to life. They literally lay the groundwork for everything else that follows. So here's something to think about. When a disaster hits, the fastest, most dedicated, and most effective help might just be the local business right around the corner. Are they part of your town's emergency plan? Maybe these should be.